What is going on, guys? Freaky Trades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And without much more being said, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list. So, going into earnings this week, you guys just saw that we just had our FANG week. Meta, Microsoft, all these other big tech companies have reported. And now, going into this week, it's starting to slow down a little bit. The only stocks that I'm really keeping an eye out for this current week for earnings that it's coming up will probably be AMD and SMCI, which they are reporting on Tuesday. Besides that, not really too much going on. Any other side watches that I tend to look at every now and then is Shopify. That's the only other big one that I could potentially see have some sort of good after earnings move going into Wednesday morning. But I mean, it's about just those three stocks, honestly, that I'm keeping an eye out for. AMD and SMC are super important just because, you know, they're two big chip companies. So that's something to really keep an eye out for and see how they report, what their outlook is before NVIDIA reports later on in the quarter. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list here. First things first, as you guys know, I'm going to cover ES and NQ as per usual. Nothing's ever going to change about that. It's always good to keep an eye out for the overall market and see where we're headed. So for NQ, it's pretty straightforward. We did bounce off my 22,800 area after we broke down from last week that I had mentioned to you guys previously. We did bounce off the 800 support. So after 800, I have room down to 22,600. Now, I don't want to chart too in depth because with how volatile the market was the last few days as of last week, I'm going to keep things pretty simple for you guys and just keep those two levels straightforward. As far as the upside goes, not really looking for anything, maybe any kind of reclamation above 23,000. But besides that, I really don't have anything on this. It's really trash to really chart anything to the upside. Now, there are some good upside plays, but they're all pretty far away as well. So, but for NQ overall, just looking at 22,800 and 22,600. I didn't see any other trend lines as well, so we're pretty good on that end. Next up is ES. Now, pretty much the same idea here. You could see that we actually did bounce around this 6240, 6230 area. Not necessarily the 6230 area that we had talked about from the previous week, but we got pretty close. So going into this next week, no upside for me, but I am looking and keeping an eye out for 6240, around 6240 to around 6230, and see if we break that. If we do end up breaking down from that area, I have room down all the way to 6200. Pretty straightforward, just like NQ, like I had mentioned. And same thing, right? There's really nothing clean about the upside besides maybe we reclaimed 6,300. But besides that, it's really just 6240, 6230 with room down to 6,200 on that one. So pretty straightforward. And from the watch list, which I'm sure most of you are waiting on, I only have two things that I'm keeping an eye out for. Probably another short watches here. I didn't see anything on Meta NVIDIA and Tesla. Now, those are the two biggest ones that I'm sure you guys are always keeping an eye out for the watch list. But as of this time, I don't have anything on them, unfortunately. So I only have these two stocks, which would be Microsoft and Meta. So going into Microsoft and Meta, the good thing about them is they are catered towards the downside. So they are in favor in moving accordingly with the market's direction. So for Microsoft here, if I put this on the daily, you guys can see that this had a massive earnings from 515, 516 all the way up to 555, but I believe the high it made was 562. Yeah, the high was 562, but ever since the post earnings, we have come all the way back down. All I have left here on Microsoft that I could see as a potential catch, that looks good to me because this kind of falls along with my setups that look really good, is below 521, maybe 520 with room down to 516 where the gap ends. Now, will I look for a target of 516? Probably not. That's not my style of trading since I'm a scalper. I'll probably be looking for maybe a $1 to $2 move from 521 with the break of 520 and seeing how it reacts past there. So pretty straightforward setup. It's just a gap and go play. As far as the entry goes, 521 doesn't look bad. I would like that to set up a little bit more. But 520 would be the safer entry if you guys are looking to scalp this and take advantage of the quick move that this could present for us. So, and then last but not least is Meta. I'm sure you guys heard me kind of mention it too, that Meta and Microsoft both have similar setups here. And they do. If I put this on the daily time frame, same idea as Microsoft, right? Had a massive good earnings report, made a high at all the way 785 post earnings, and then we're coming back all the way down. These are still kind of close to all-time high territory, so most of these levels I would consider still good. None of these levels are to reuse, which is the nice part because, again, all-time high for before post earnings was this around the 750 area. Yeah, around the 750 area, as you guys can see here on the bigger time frame, around this 730 to 740 area, and we haven't really touched this area for too long. So I believe that we would have less congestion here and a lot smoother movement going forward here. So with that, we have a gap here from 708 to 745, roughly $30 on this, $30 to $40. So I'm looking to play a continuation on this from 745 with room down to 740. Again, I'm not going to be looking to catch that whole entire $5 move with my target being 740, but it's an idea of how much room I have on this. The only issue that I have from watching this on Friday is that it was really slow ticking, meaning it was just moving really slowly, which is not typically the kind of stocks that I try to look for or aim for when I'm scalping, because I like quick volatile things, because that's able to provide the quick percentages that I need to be profitable with this kind of scalping strategy, right? So hopefully it sets up more around pre-market going into tomorrow morning with Monday, or even throughout the week, right, with this gap, because again, Microsoft has a little bit of room on the gap, and then Meta here as well also has a lot of room on the gap here. So hopefully it sets up a few plays for this entire week, because a lot of the other stocks that I have on my watch list that are side watch list or part of my rotational watch list just don't have anything. So, but yeah, that's about it for the watch list though, guys. Pretty short, pretty straightforward. There was nothing else that looked really good and supreme that I could give you guys. So that was about it. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube channel or even on the video. We would really appreciate it here with Stock Hours and Clock Trades. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your weekend and have a fantastic week. Peace out.